Hello, if you are looking back on this year and you are saying, well, what the hell was that? Then this is for you, okay? The collapses, the clearings, the creation also. We're at this really pivotal moment now that we are well and truly into December. Now, I just want to start off by saying nothing is collapsing. I know it felt like that. I'm with you. And in a sense, yes, but these were really things that, only what you can no longer carry. They were meant to end. And December 2025, it's not just this end of this, the 9-year completion. It's a soul evacuation from the old earth operating system. So that is a good thing. Now, I know when we go through these huge up levels together, you may have found yourself feeling really disorientated or unanchored, strangely nostalgic, right? Weirdly detached, or the opposite to that, really emotionally almost volatile for no reason, and exhausted in a way that sleep just doesn't touch. I see you, okay? Now, these are, yes, you can call them Ascension symptoms. What they really are, it's a dimensional withdrawal, okay? So this month is the last purge of that 2016 to 2025 identity architecture. I'll explain what I mean. And the collective, you're feeling this somatically, your bodies, okay? Your nervous system. Maybe it's felt like your nervous system was just at capacity this year. This is what feels like that collapse. I know a lot of you are using that collapse energy, and I see you in this. It's this collapse feeling energetically before the rebirth, and we've been doing it together all year. And it was like January started, we're excited for a new year, and then February, March, April, and you might have been going, this isn't fun, this isn't actually feeling good. And then further through the year, May, June, July, and you're probably going, what is happening? And then October hit. It was like this crescendo of, oh my God, this is absolute chaos. This is madness, okay? So your beautiful nervous system has been going through it. But what your body is actually saying is, I can't run on fear anymore. I can't run on that old system, that old architecture anymore, because we are upgrading, okay? People, beautiful humans, have been hitting walls that they can't bypass with willpower, with sheer willpower, right? That's where we see those old coping strategies just not supporting us any longer. So this is when we find ourselves maybe spontaneously crying, or your nervous system has felt shot. This real tension in the body as these identities dissolve out of the system, because I can tell you it happens somatically. But we're thinking up here. We're thinking we can solve everything up here, and we're forgetting to go to the body. You may have been experiencing this real chest constriction as our hearts recalibrate, or even this gut turbulence as timelines shed. Now, this is not a malfunction. It is a metaphysical detox, okay? And we've really been in this identity ping pong phase. Half the collective feels like they're falling behind, like everything has stalled and stopped and they're in this great pause. And the other half is really feeling like they're accelerating too fast, like they can't keep up. And yes, both are real experiences for you. Both are also illusions. Why? You are transitioning between versions of yourself faster than your mind can actually narrate. And this is where you might find your mind just like, future tracking, like, oh my God, what's coming next? And then all this worry energy comes up, okay? Now this creates days where you just want to burn your whole life down. I get it. Or nights where you can just feel your soul whispering to you, just hold on. Just another day, okay? And mornings where you just feel strange, okay? whatever you feel, it's all valid. And I just want to say that quite often there's no logical reason for any of this. We can't logicize our way through this process. So the identity that carried you through survival cannot cross the solstice gate, okay? We've got to let it fall. And I know that can feel really difficult depending on where you are on your journey. Now, a potential for some of you is the return of old characters with new roles. What do I mean by that? December is bringing, and I want you to take what you want and what you will from this, okay? Ex-partners with unfinished karmic threads, or even someone that reminds you of an ex-partner, okay? There is a reason for that. Parents or children who are, it's usually unconsciously testing your boundaries, and you could even be noticing money patterns resurfacing exactly where you thought you were done. You know, maybe it's a bill that you just weren't expecting, or something, right? Something. It could be just completely random people triggering old wounds you forgot you even had, okay? Now, these are not regressions. I just want you to let you know that. These are, you could look at them as final exams in disguise. You're not being tested, by the way. The universe doesn't throw tests at you to see how strong you are. It's not that. These are internal exams we consciously took on before we were birthed into this realm, and now we are completing these contracts, okay? So just know that any and every returning character in your life is here to ask you, are you choosing the past self or your next self? And I've got some beautiful examples of that in my own personal life. They're probably too personal to share, but for example, let's say someone triggers you so deeply. That's your choice point. Will I respond to will I respond to this from that old victim energy, or from that usual space I would respond in anger, deflect or project back, or am I going to respond from this new self, the emotionally intelligent version of me, the powerful the sovereign version of me, right? It's that kind of vibe. So today, actually, I think today is the 12/12 portal here in Australia. Cool. Temple reassignment. This is not just an alignment portal, okay? This is a soul contract renegotiation point. And on this day and around this day, and actually the lead up all year, you may have noticed people suddenly ending really long-lasting relationships, okay? Businesses either collapsing or dissolving and then rebirthing, money patterns flipping, deep grief rising to be cleared, properly cleared, okay? And past lives bleeding through, whether it's dreams or just those moments of awareness, okay? And it might be more vivid for you. So what I want to say about that is, you know, your crystalline architecture is actually being, I guess you could say activated, but it's more like a reboot. And that is why we've been receiving just so much energies and light and codes and all the things to support us this year. Now, this solstice energy coming up, it's the great reveal. Okay, the solstice this year is carrying a frequency similar, not saying it's the same, but similar to 2012, but it's deeper, okay? So your shadows and your gifts get to emerge at the same time. So what do I mean? I mean, expect a surge in your intuitive spikes. You just know things, right? Psychic downloads, sudden clarity about next steps, and you might get a sense that that is actually landing for you, even if it hasn't landed yet. A big one here is the absolute inability to tolerate misalignment. It's like, no, I'm done with that. I am done with that. I literally can't have that in my reality. Physical purges, of course, as part and parcel of the process as we process all of this information and frequency somatically, okay? And there are huge heart openings happening right now. So if you're in a grief wave, just know that that's going to resolve, and that's going to open you even more, because the new earth requires heart-centered beings, okay? It's about love, it's about compassion, it's about heart, and you're really landing into that beautiful era because we said yes to this mission. And that is a big reason why anything that is not misaligned, if someone, I had it recently, someone really close to me I love, got angry and projected and spat all this shit, and I was just like, hell no. Hell to the no, not in my reality, okay? So all that aside, how do I choose to move through this experience, and what am I choosing to take away from this experience and learn from it, and all the things? It doesn't have to be the end of the world, okay? So this is the final merging of the human and higher self timelines, and you may even find yourself, this has been happening to me a lot this year, it's getting stronger. I might be thinking about something, or even thinking about how I want to react or say something, and I just get this higher self download, they're actually going to be okay. Or you don't actually need to say that. And I just say thank you, right? And it's a really beautiful space to be in. Let me know if you have been experiencing that, by the way, below. So then we have New Year's Eve. December's a big month, right? Energetically. Then we have New Year's Eve, this 0 point reset, and this year's midnight eve pivot is a real dimensional marker, okay? Anything not chosen consciously will be dissolved. Now, this is a moment where those false timelines collapse, your soul mission accelerates, and I say this quite a lot, but you know, soul mission doesn't have to mean that you own and run a business. You could be absolutely living your soul mission just by being alive and being human on this planet and breathing into this planet. You may just be becoming more aware of what a big deal you are for being alive, okay? And I don't say that from an ego awareness. I say this from a God's truth awareness. You are a big deal, okay? You are special, and you are needed on this planet at this time. So if you have felt really deflated this year and found yourself just dipping and dropping energetically, that beautiful power is returning to you right now this month, okay? That any emotional stagnation that you are moving through, it will lift. It is lifting, and then the clarity snaps back into place. Okay, this is who I am, this is what I came for, this is what I'm doing next, this is how I choose to move through the world now. So this is actually New Year's Eve. It's a choice point rather than a celebration, okay? So the fear of not being ready is the last veil here this year that we move through. Everyone's feeling this. Everyone thinks it's personal. It's actually the collective shedding the imprint that I must suffer or struggle somehow before I'm allowed to rise or have the thing or just have a completely easy, happy life. Okay? Taking a breath because I really want that one to land. We're really moving away from those old matrix vibes that we were indoctrinated into. Work and hustle equals output equals money and joy and freedom. Like we're dissolving that template. Okay, so the body, your beautiful body, is upgrading faster than the mind can even conceive right now. And this is when you might find yourself just like mentally exhausted, even a bit confused. just know that this is not a flaw, okay? This is the integration. Now, money timelines are actually shifting too. So, like I said at the start, yes, you may see unexpected bills, or you've already experienced that, or if you are in business, a dip in sales, or just weird financial pauses, or sudden urges to just purge what you don't want or need in your life anymore. And we know through universal law that when you purge and release and get rid of that gunk in your trunk, however you want to say it, we open up space for more. And the more that comes in next will be decided on your intention for what that more is going to be next. Okay? So yes, there is a breakdown of that old karmic money grid. Okay? So, yes, relationships are recalibrating. And that looks like either the end or a shift. Okay? So it's like the lifetimes of karmic dynamics, it feels like they're changing overnight because it might happen so quickly for you, but it's been changing for a while. Okay. If someone fell away for you this year, they were not coded for your next life in this life, because it's actually what this is sort of happening. This is actually what is happening is we're getting a new chance at life in this life, with this new earth paradigm that we all chose to come to support, to usher in whatever way that looks like for you. Okay, so pardon me. So yeah, December, I know it feels like the end of something, and so many of you are like, thank God it's over. And actually Cosmo has a message. This is a good time to bring through Cosmo's message. If you are new to my world, Cosmo is my Sasquatch guide, star family. He was the very first star being I ever met years ago when I went to connect with my star family, and he has been with me ever since. So let's bring through his message. Okay, so I actually started by asking him, hey, is there a war on our frequency? Because I know with certain struggles and hardships many humans have gone through this year, a lot of them found themselves wondering if, is the Matrix winning? Is there this big war and they're trying to take our souls and all the things, right? So I did want to address that. So, okay, he said, there has been a war on your frequency as humans for eons, actually, since the beginning of the end when the Dark Ones took control. But they have lost their grip, and humanity is no longer under that chokehold. Too many humans have woken up to the perverse systems and structures that have failed you over and over and over again, and humanity is at a collective ascension point. Many of you can no longer tolerate the misaligned. So there's that key again. That is why many of you can feel this current liminal space of, I'm no longer who I was, but I'm also not sure of who I am or where I'm going. And he says, please know this as a collective, please know this is a collective still point. So that's going to be our New Year's Eve 0 point, okay? This void space does not prove anything is wrong. In fact, it proves that enough of you are on the ascension path that we have reached a state of what we call no thing. This is fertile ground. We invite you to play in this energy instead of thinking you are getting stuck in the mud. Sink into it. You won't be lost. Kick it around. Play with it. You can't get this wrong. You've put in the work. You've planted your seeds, and now it's time to be patient, surrender, and trust that they're going to grow. Okay, we've witnessed many of you unfolding this year like a beautiful rose, and we see the beauty in your cycles and growth, and we understand that the growth this year has been monumental and uncomfortable and chaotic and painful at times. As the vibration of the coming 1 year is beginning to filter into the collective, you may already be sensing the end of the turmoil and the beginning of brighter days ahead. And we say this: do not wait for January 1st in your time space perception. Give yourself permission to enjoy life now. Take a breath and don't wait to have fun. I always get a little chill at the end of his messages. They're just so beautiful. Biggest takeaway for me from there was, let's not wait until January, because we're all in this, you know, it feels like this holding pattern, bracing, holding our breath. Oh my God, that year was horrid and I can't wait for January. But that vibe is like, okay, next year's going to save me. Not the vibe to be going into next year. Start now. And it doesn't have to be a big overnight, you know, shift in identity. Start now by saying or thinking or whatever, you know, like, okay, how can I bring this beautiful new vibration into my life now? How can I bring those joy codes into my life right now? Because I don't have to wait for joy to come to my life just because of a date, a human date. Okay, I get to bring it into the now, and that's going to look different for all of you. What brings you joy, right? What brings me joy is literally lying on the bed and petting my cat. I can't even describe what that does to my energy. I just am in love with these furry little beings. They are the best. So, what brings you joy? And one of the biggest keys I've noticed only just recently through looking back over this year is the identity shift. It is your identity that is going to move you into the next layer of your evolution. Now, what I mean by that is, who do I think I am? Who do I think I want to be? What do I think I can have, right? That's identity. Versus the identity that says, of course I can have that. That is actually mine, and I am the woman or the man that creates that right now, right now, right now, right now, right now. Okay, it's a different version of yourself. Because of this, I am actually going to be creating a 1 month identity level dimensional shift called the shift, and we're going to move through that in January. So if that is a space that you just know is going to set you up in the most beautiful, magical, powerful way for 2026, probably pop a hashtag shift in the comments, and then once that is all ready, once we get the pages and the links all ready, then we will send you those details. Now, I also share regular energy update readings with my email subscribers. If you would like to become an email subscriber member, just let me know in the comments and we can get you on there. Okay, so I am sending you so much love. Please remember to have fun, breathe, pause. Okay, really pause and take in what this year taught you, not just how bad it was. And bring those joy codes into your life now, okay? I'm sending you so much love, and I'll see you next week. Bye.